Hi everyone. It's important to have a normal automotive relay so that when you switch your ignition on, your accessories like this TomTom Satnav device power on, and then when you turn the ignition off, they also turn off, and then this way your battery will not get drained. So I'm going to show you how to make a simple automotive relay to add easily 4 accessories, and it will be at the fraction of the cost of something like the Healtech Thunderbox. I think you can do this for about 10, maybe £15. Here's everything we need to make our automotive relay so that we have switch live power. So first of all, you need a 12-volt automotive relay. I got this from eBay for less than £5. It comes in 2 parts. So this is the relay itself, and then there are numbered pins on here, and then there's spade connectors in there. Right, so let's go through them. So the white cable is going to be ground, so this will be connected to the frame. That's 85. Number 30, the black cable, will go to the positive terminal of the battery. Okay, number 87 is going to go to our accessory or accessories, and 86 is the switch live. Now the idea is when you turn on your ignition, power goes through the switch live yellow cable, activates an electromagnet in here, and then power through the black cable from the positive end of your battery will flow to cable 87, the accessories. Okay, so that's the idea how it works. Next step is optional. Some people connect the black cable to the battery with a fuse blade holder. Okay, so there's that. We also need, in order to connect this to the relay, we need a crimp to join 2 pieces of cable. I've got some heat shrink, and then we've got an O-ring connector for the battery. Okay, the ground cable just needs a ring terminal. Okay, the switch live yellow cable, we need to extend the length of that, so I've got some extra yellow cable. I've got a crimp to join 2 pieces of wire, heat shrink, and then a posi-tap connector, because we're going to connect to the USB socket of our Triumph Speed Twin. And then cable 87, the accessories, will go to one of these Waggo connectors. Okay, so this is a Waggo 221, and then what happens is you insert the red cable in here, close this, and then there's a strip of metal connecting the positive power to all these other accessories, so we can easily add 4 accessories. Then we need a separate piece of cable which will be connected to the negative port of the battery. So here you can see I've inserted it. Let me just see if I can show you. Right, okay, so you simply insert the cable in there, lock it down, and now again we can add 4 accessories to these ports there. We also need a wire cutter, as we need to cut the wire there, and then I've got a crimping tool as well. So this is going to do what the Healtech Thunderbox does at a fraction of the cost. Right, so I will do all the crimping and then come back. Okay, so stage 1 has been completed. So you can see how we've got ring terminal for the ground connector. We've got our Waggo for our accessories, so that's the connector there. We've got our switched live extended along with a posi-tap connector. This is going to be going to the battery, so I did the bladed fuse connector and a ring terminal. And one more thing, This is, I showed you this earlier, so that's for the negatives. And then I actually ended up doing the wire stripping and crimping with this simple tool, as my ratcheting one gave up. So next we're going to need a Torx T30 bit in order to connect the make the ground connection, and then a screwdriver or a socket in order to connect up to the battery. Right, so let's head over to the bike. Right, so we're going to put our relay here, squeeze it in next to the OBD port. We want the ground cable to come down, and I'll just show you then where the ground connection is going to be. Okay, oh, so there it is. So this bolt here is connected to the frame, so we're going to undo that and connect the ground cable there. Okay, there's the ground connection made. I'm glad I didn't film it because the bolt was too big for the ring terminal and I had to drill it out to 6mm. I've also connected the negative Waggo connector to the battery, as well as the positive going to the battery. Nothing special about that. So now it's the switched live that we need to deal with. So let's go around to the other side of the bike. There we go. So as explained in an earlier video, we're going to make our connection to the USB socket, which is over here, and that's because if we make any mistakes, it's a replaceable part. Okay, right, so let me feed the yellow cable through. Okay, also got my battery maintenance cable there as well in the way. Right, okay, so we want this pointing outwards because of the limited space in there. Let me just check. Yeah, okay, so if you've not seen my earlier video, the posi-tap connector comes in 3 parts. You unscrew the right hand side, expose wire on the cable, and then feed it through here and then tighten it. Okay, so this comes right off. Right, so now we're going to undo the left hand side. Yeah, I have done a video on finding a live feed, and so that's where that was explained. Right, so we know also from that earlier video that this yellow cable is live, and that means this white cable will be live. So we take the third part of the posi-tap connector, put it into position there. Yep, so that is pretty much facing out towards us, and then you can see that there's a sharp point in there that will pierce the USB cable, and then that will give us power that only comes on when the battery is switched on. Right, that's fairly tight. We'll test first, and then see if we need to tighten it a bit more. Right, okay, so this is the cable for my TomTom Satnav device. So let's open up one of the negative Waggo connectors. Pop that in there, that's as far as it will go. And then we've got the positive Waggo connector. Let's open one up. And just make sure that's all the way in. Yep. There we go. Right, okay. So next step is to switch on. Right, it's time for the moment of truth. So let's turn our ignition on. And hopefully you can see that the Satnav has powered up. Let's turn it off. And there you go, it's powered off. So now I can add accessories like spotlights for the winter for commuting then. I need to add my Scott oiler as well. So that will be 3 accessories minimum. Okay, I hope you found that useful. If you've got any questions or any advice for me, please do comment in the section below. Thank you very much for watching Street Twin 900 Rider. Still getting used to this. Okay, bye.